Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Pringleton Model Railway. Whether you're here for the first time or returning, thank you for stopping by. Now, it might be cold outside today, but we're going to be warming up in Pringleton with the installation of a whole new sauna and spa area, which feels rather cool, or warm as it were. So sit back, pour yourself a hot drink and enjoy. Welcome once again to the Pringleton Model Railway. Okay, so we are straight in here and we're going to take a look at where we are going to install this sauna and spa area, which does feel a little bit eclectic for a model railway, but I thought it would be really fun and give Pringleton that sort of aspirational middle class feel that I think it needs. Right, anyway, okay, so here we have the start of the town here, and we've got the Mount Pringleton there and a couple of very nice detached houses, the kids play area, and then we give way to the bridge, bar, restaurant and rooms. And you may recall that the town is over that side and Pringleton station is there as well. So I reckon it's going to be this area, which has been bugging me for a little while. So we've got the bridge kind of pub restaurant thing in this very nice plot on the side there, just by the footbridge over the railway into the woods and the forest and the mountain there. And I think this area here is going to be perfect. So it's already at the moment got the tables for the outdoor bit of the pub, but I think they're going to be better around the back there, which means that this whole area here is going to be perfect for the sauna and spa. So I think people would come into the bridge, they'd probably sign in here. It's going to be the bridge thermal spa or something like that. So that's the plan, and let's start by having a look at what we're going to do to actually make this sauna itself.
All right, so let's get this little package open. It is the Falla Garden Sauna, HO scale, but let's see how it plays out in 00. So initial challenge of actually getting into the package itself, but a pair of scissors helps out. We've got some, what have we got here? Some safety instructions, a bit of guidance on the resources needed, glue, snippers, a craft knife, the usual stuff. Here's the safety instructions. Let's take a look at those and see what we've got in there. Very large set of safety instructions, including something on the operating and storage conditions, general recommendations, yeah, whatever. We've got here a bit of a glazing sheet, some green card, I reckon that's the roof panels, and then obviously we've got the laser cut business here. So the bigger ones, of course, fall out quite easily. The middle ones can be easily pushed out. They're nicely cut, nicely detailed with some of them. And yeah, now they're getting smaller, so this one is pretty tricky to push out. Looking at these tiny pieces, or these thin pieces, I'm guessing these are the sort of truss members for the roof of the sauna. These are pretty tricky, so out comes the favourite craft knife, the Stanley knife. So I will give those a score to release them from the piece of thin wood. I don't know what this is. Is it all solid or something like that? It certainly feels like it. Anyway, that was as tricky as I expected it to be. Very easy to break these. Need a couple of goes over with the scoring, and of course definitely use a piece of card or a cut-in mat underneath. So here we go. Right. That's that one, and here we have all of the different little bits removed and ready. Same business with the green card for the top. Yep, so these are going to be the roof panels for the sauna itself. The bigger ones coming out easily enough, and you can see that there's some score lines on those. Obviously these smaller pieces, again, they become progressively more difficult to actually get out by simply pushing. So a use of the craft knife here is absolutely essential, and these are really fiddly. I won't mind telling you that I've cut out a whole bunch of stuff from this video because they were really quite difficult to cut out and score. Okay, so here we have all of the pieces, and I did actually now find the instructions. They're inside this sort of cover sheet. There we are, pretty minimal. So clearly this is the base part, and that hole looks like it's going to be handy. So I'm using just standard Yoo-hoo glue here. I think I could probably do better with a more fine type tip for application, but this is okay, and there's notches in all the sections, so they push in quite nicely. So that's the first one with the door in position. The second one going into position nicely as well. I guess in an ideal world I'd have let each one dry and set before putting the next one in place, but you know, this Yoo-hoo stuff fits nicely together, and it dries pretty quickly as well. So I'm just cracking on here. There will be much better gluing techniques out there. You know, there's a fair bit of residue left over from what I'm doing here, but I'm okay with that. You know, it doesn't need to look perfect. It's got that sort of lived-in outdoor sauna feel to it, and any major excess of glue left afterwards when it's dried, I can just you know, pick off with my fingernails or a little blade or something like that. So there we have it. Nicely done actually, and that looks really rather good. Now that glazing panel, I'm actually going to put it aside and use it for something else, and instead use my little trick of glazing with sellotape here, which is, I think, easier and quicker. So one piece like that, and then a smaller piece turned over and stuck sticky side to sticky side. It's okay if it gets a few smudges on it, because this is a sauna, you know, it's not going to be have perfect windows. Clip out a little bit of that, and then I've got a sticky piece on either side of the center section which is non-sticky, and it slips perfectly into position there. So that is a rather neat little trick that I'm rather happy with, and I can repeat that for the other windows. The next part is putting these roof trusses in place. They are really fiddly and easy to break. And then you have this sort of piece that goes at the very top, the kind of the apex of that hexagonal roof, which needs to be in position to keep all of the other bits in there. Now this took ages. I broke a couple, I had to stick it all back together, and to be perfectly honest, I kind of ended up with a lot of glue, more glue than bits of laser cut wood, but it has held together okay. There you can see one that I broke, and it's now okay to start fitting those scored green roof panels on, and these fit pretty well. You need to position them, you need to let them dry a little bit and make sure that they're in perfect place. And you know, I was quite liberal with the glue here because, you know, most of the residue is going to be shown inside, so I'm okay with that, and the glue does kind of hold the whole thing together pretty well as well. So the different panels go on just fine, and you know what, that is looking rather good. The roof also has this little section which goes over the door into the sauna, so a nice little bit of glue on that as well. Fold it over, remove it from my thumb, and stick that in position. And you know what, that is coming on really rather nicely. Yes, I've got some residual glue everywhere, but as I say, I'm going to let it all dry and then clean that up afterwards. The apex of the roof has this little bit that folds around on itself and puts into position. So I've put a good old welly of Yoo-hoo in there, and then using that pencil to put it into position and to fold everything out. Another good old welly of Yoo-hoo in there, and it has a little cap on there. And that roof has come out a lot better than I thought. Starting to clear off a bit of dried glue here as well, and the overall piece at the end looks rather good. The hole at the bottom will be really handy if I want to pop a light through. So there we have it. The sauna is complete.
Okay, so there we have the sauna itself built, and it's all dry and tidied up now, and it looks rather good. So here's a few other bits which I may use. So I've already got some of this sort of paving pathway printed off from a previous project. It is used extensively across Pringleton. Printout or download printout from Wordsworth Model Railway website, fantastic. I've kind of got some offcuts of card. A few kind of seats and things like that left over from the playground we saw earlier. One of these classic sort of Hornby sort of shed things, which I might do a little bit of work with. It could be a sort of steam room, perhaps to go with the sauna itself. This is, I don't know, it's a sort of wooden door. Some bits of offcut of card, of course. Let's get going. I mentioned that glazing sheet that came with the sauna kit itself. There it is. Now I have found a piece of card which is approximately the right shape and size that I want, and then this piece of blue paper. I don't know how this is going to end out, but I'm going to give it a go. So a bit of sticky fun stick on the back of that, a decent amount. Actually, then I'm going to put the glue on here as well, just to be absolutely assured. Like that. Then that piece is going to go centrally on there. And I'm okay with a few bits of, actually no, that's exactly what I want. I want a few bits of different colour contrast on there. Yeah. And then the glazing sheet is going to go over the top like that. What I'm going to do once that dries is put some of this paving stuff around the edges, and that creates my plunge pool, or my little sort of mini fitness pool for the outdoor sauna. So we'll see how that goes in a minute. I've also got some of the fence stuff, the fence printout from Wordsworth Model Railway as well, and I've printed out that and stuck to some card as well. So we'll see all of that in position momentarily. Okay, so we're coming on quite nicely here. So the sauna is gonna go there. This one at the back, maybe a steam room or a massage cabin. The plunge pool's looking good there, and I've got a bit of a path coming around the back there, so I think the change rooms are probably inside. So I think I want to put a base underneath here and a base underneath there. The base is in, so I kind of put it all together, joined it up a bit more sort of foliage, ground cover around the edges of it just to blend it in. Sauna and the sort of, I don't know, massage area, steam room in place. Moved one of the benches in there, found a man undressing perfectly, a couple of other customers, looking good. Okay, so a little while later, and I think here we pretty much have it. So sauna in position, the pool is done. I've used the ladder off an old signal to create steps into the pool. I've cut the body off someone to give the impression that someone's in the water. We've got a bench here with someone perhaps warming up after a dip, ready for their steam. We've got someone arriving, a young lady with a problem with her bikini top there, and all looking rather good. A bit more foliage, a few more trees, lovely. All that remains, I think, is to update the signs for the bridge, bar, restaurant and rooms, perhaps spa as well. So I'll get that done, and then we will take a look at the final piece of work in our musical showcase. Right, let's get these new signs up. They've promised us a free sauna and massage afterwards as well. Hurrah! there we have it, something a bit different for Pringleton. I'm really rather pleased with that. If you've enjoyed this episode, please don't hesitate to like, comment and subscribe. Your support means the world to me, and by all means share this episode with others, and why not take a look at some of the other episodes we've done as well. We will be back soon with the next episode of Pringleton Model Railway, but for now I'm off to warm up in the sauna. Take care everyone, bye for now.